so I trust you.
It is good.
It is good. You've read it? Okay, then. What did you think of it? It's black and white, isn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah, I think that's what I thought.
as it should be.
As it should. Well, yeah. Like stitches.
Yeah,
Yeah. Couldn't have done that before.
but if you think of North Korea, it's definitely black and white.
Man, how brave anyone is to live in North Korea. Going to India, we have Q&A, which is the basis for Slumdog Millionaire. As great as the movie was, the book is always better and kind of different from the movie. We also have 6 Suspects by Vikas Swaga, the same author. Let's see, my note for the space between us, it makes you appreciate indoor plumbing. So I know, so that's 30 Wigger, you know. I think these take place in Bombay. Climbing the Mango Trees is a book I enjoyed, a memoir of childhood in India, Madhu Jaffrey. This is a famous chef's childhood stories. Jaffrey is an actress and a very famous chef, and she's drawing about her own childhood in Delhi and Kanpur. She was born in 1933, one of 6 children of a prosperous businessman. She grew up in a huge joint family of aunts, uncles, cousins, often 40 showed up for dinner. But she was under the strict thumb of Babaji, her grandfather, and the family patriarch. It was a privileged and cosmopolitan family influenced by Hindu, Muslim, and British traditions. These were not easy times in India. They were a British ally in World War II, and they had to go through the agony of partition, the separation and formation of Muslim Pakistan. Jaffrey's graceful prose and sure powers of description paint a vivid landscape of an almost enchanted childhood. For family and friends, the bittersweet sorrows of puberty, the sensual sounds and smells of the monsoon rain, all are remembered with love and care. But nowhere is a writing more evocative than when she details the food of her childhood, which she does often and at length. I tend to be a foodie. Yeah, we got a few food ones. You know, water with chocolate, there's recipes in this one. There's a few more recipe books coming your way, housed in a different, not looking like a cookbook. Yeah, at the end there's like 30 different family recipes that are absolutely delightful, with photographs. In Afghanistan, this is a book I picked up, another memoir, the Kabul Beauty School. And the reason I even put this on here is because the author is from Holland, Michigan, Deborah Rodriguez. And so I picked it up because I got a lot of reviews, and oh, this looks interesting, it's all the Times. I thought, okay. And it opens up and it starts in Holland, Michigan. I'm thinking, wait a minute. A beautician from Holland, Michigan goes to Kabul in 2002. First she goes with humanitarian aid group, and then she returns to open a school for beauticians to help the women there. The style is a bit rough. She is not an accomplished author, but her story is compelling and very interesting. And it's an opportunity for me to see what life is or was like for Afghan women. They couldn't leave their homes without male escorts. They're kind of a strange retelling. We take so much for granted in the United States. So it's sort of an easy read. It's not going to tax you with high literature, but it's a good story. Okay. Now, you're going to Europe, and we're going to start in Greenland, and I'm already going to give you a typo. I think I've got it. Smell a sense of smell, it's snow. Of course it's snow. And I got it wrong. And I knew I had it wrong, and I thought, why did I put it? But, you know. This is an older book, and many of you have read this. But if you want to know about Greenland, this is the book to read. Again, it's another mystery. It's an international bestseller. Peter and I did talk to a Danish man about how you found this food. And I know I probably ruined it. The author successfully combines the pleasures of literary fiction with those of a thriller. Smilla Jespersen is half Danish and half Greenlander. She attempts to understand the death of a small boy who falls from the roof of her apartment building. Her childhood in Greenland gives her an appreciation for the complex structures of snow. And when she notices that the boy's footprints show that he ran to his death, she decides to find out who was chasing him. As she attempts to solve the mystery, she uncovers a series of conspiracies and cover-ups, and quickly realizes that she can trust nobody. The investigation takes her from the streets of Copenhagen to an ice-bound island off the coast of Greenland. What she finds there has implications far beyond the death of a single child. Their usual setting, gripping plot, and compelling central character add up to one of the most fascinating and literate thrillers of recent years. And I think this sort of started out for me, that whole Scandinavian, Icelandic saga thriller genre. Because now, of course, you can't swim a dead cat without hitting another cat. So, and we're going to get to some of those Swedish ones. But some of the images here are just this is just the opening. It's freezing, an extraordinary 0 Fahrenheit, and it's snowing. And in the language that is no longer mine, the snow is Quanik. That's Q-A-N-I-K. Big, almost weightless crystals falling in clumps and covering the ground with a layer of pulverized white frost. December darkness rises up from the grave, seeming as limitless as the sky above us. In this darkness, our faces are merely pale, shining orbs. But even so, I can sense the disapproval of the pastor and the verger directed at my black net stockings and at Julianne's whimpering, made worse by the fact that she took a drug this morning, is confronting her with grief almost sober. So we're at a funeral. Sounds a little to me like Michigan, but December darkness rising up from the grave, seeming limitless. This is beautiful, and a beautiful translation. If you've never read this, and you like the other Swedish, the Scandinavian dark fiction, this is the one that I think you should start with, or should read. It really is a wonderful book, and a good mystery. And if you read it in the summer, you won't get frostbite. Okay, now Sweden, then you have, this Steg Larsen, the girl with the dragon tattoo, and who played with fire, and then she kicked the hornet's nest. You've all got them. They're amazing. You get this very different sense of Sweden. Do I want to visit there? Actually, I am. Yes, I better not say anything. I am going to Sweden. But I hope I don't run into any of these characters because, man, this is a sick group of people. Once you start with the girl with the dragon tattoo, there's no turning back. This is a thriller that you have to read the whole trilogy, and I haven't gotten through them yet because they're really hard to read. For me, it's so misogynistic that it's hard for me to get past some of those sections. But they are page turners. The central protagonist is Michael Blomqvist. He was once a respected financial journalist. He watches his professional life rapidly crumble around him. Prospects appear bleak until an unexpected and unsettling offer to resurrect his name is extended by an old-school titan of Swedish industry. The catch, and there is always a catch, is that Blomqvist must first spend a year researching a mysterious disappearance that has remained unsolved for nearly 4 decades. With few other options, he accepts and enlists the help of an investigator, Lisbeth Salander, probably one of the most interesting female characters I've read in a long time. She's a misunderstood genius with a cache of authority issues. That's putting it mildly. Little as it seems in Larsen's novel, there is at least one constant. You really don't want to mess with a girl with a dragon tattoo. No. So I will get through all 3 of them eventually. And then, yesterday, okay, so I sent this list off to Kevin King. And yesterday I'm reading the Times, and there's more. There's a new Swedish mystery. A Swedish village is stunned by a chilling death. As neighbor turns against neighbor, one deadly truth is certain. No secret stays buried forever. The name of the book is called The Ice Princess. And the author's name, the first name is Camilla. And her last name, Lackberg, Lockberg. And it says, The Ice Princess is a precisely layered, highly engrossing story. Stieg Larsson fans who give Lockberg's novel a chance to seduce them will be rewarded. It's erotic and terrifying, an absolute must for mystery lovers. An expert at mixing scenes of domestic coziness with blood-curdling horror. A must for white-knuckle junkies. What's going on in Sweden?
Well, there's more. Henny Mankill.
Yes, and that was the next page of the New York Times book review yesterday.
Well, that's an incredible series.
Yeah. What is going on in Sweden? I will turn to that. I don't know. But I think their winters are long, and there's snow, and it's dark. Again, like Michigan. Okay, let's have some fun. Scotland. I love, and I've been pushing MC Beaton for a long time, I love these Scottish, these are Agatha Christie in Scotland. The cast of characters are delightful. Again, it's similar to the Armand Gamache books that I started with in Quebec. But these take place in Scotland, except that these are frothy and light. And you can read them right before you go to sleep at night, and you're not going to have nightmares like you will with the Swedish books. And the same characters keep showing up. But again, there must be, I don't know, 15, 20 of these by now. There's a lot of mayhem going on in Scotland. Lots of murders, and it's always death of this, death of that. And they're fun, and they're delightful to read. So if you're looking for something easy, frothy, but gives you a lovely image of the Scottish coastline too. MC Beaton, she does a marvelous time with the seasons. You get a lovely image, and the people are so quirky and funny that you've got to enjoy that.